Alright guys, so today we're going to be replacing a axle shaft in a GM 10-bolt main. Now the first thing you're going to have to do, you're going to want to jack up the vehicle and you want to have it on jack stands with the jack stands directly on the axle so it does not slip. Then you want to make sure that your front is chocked well on both tires, and then you can start the vehicle and you can test for your bearing failure. Now you want to put your foot firmly on the brake, put it in drive, and release. See how our tires are moving? Now, I already listened and I know that this is the one that has a failure, but if you get in real close, you can hear it make noise. It probably won't show. But, oh, up there it is. But you'll hear like a scraping sound. I'll be quiet for a second. But yeah, you'll hear a scraping sound, and that means that the wheel bearing has gone out and needs to be replaced. And another thing is we can tell that our axle is bent because the wheel is wobbling back and forth slightly. That's usually caused by someone hitting a curb too hard, something like that. That's not a very common failure. But you want to make sure you look, and if you see any vibration at all and you know it's not the wheel, it's usually going to be that axle shaft.
Alright, so I'm going to get out here and show you the tools you need. A socket set. We use a little 12-volt DeWalt impact. That's for taking the diff cover off. Then we have our bearing puller set. And I also get out the big slide hammer set just in case the bearings are a little stubborn. Our parts are, because this is a positive track rear end, is the AC Delco limited slip axle lubricant, 2 bearings. The part numbers for this particular vehicle are that right there, and 513067 are the actual bearing numbers if you're doing Timken bearings, like so. Right there. And then here are the seals. We got all the seals and everything at Napa because our local bearing house, which carries Timken, didn't have all the parts. Other than that, we're ready to get started. We have our impact right there with the sockets, and we're doing this in the driveway just because it's a quick, easy deal for us to do. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we got the tire off. We need to compress the caliper just a little bit to be able to get it off of the rotor. Do it like that, remember? And you don't have to compress it much. Okay, that should be plenty. Go and take it off. Take the clamp off. At this point, it's very critical that nobody steps on the brakes so it doesn't clamp back down, and so it doesn't blow the pistons out once you take the caliper off. All right. So we're going to go ahead and pull the caliper mounting bracket bolts. Put the bolts right back here. Huh. What? You may have to break them loose.
Okay.
Let me get you. And this is why you use an impact rated extension, socket, and universal joint. So you're loose, you're out. Okay. Set that right there for now. And then we'll grab a wire to hold it up there. Take off the rotor. Take the rotor off. Oops. That's not good. Like I said, we need to watch it. Let's grab her something to put it up with.
Alright, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to take off all of these bolts. And while I'm doing that, explain common signs of wheel bearing failure.
Okay. Well, when you're driving, you hear a grinding noise. And it helps if you can't tell from inside the vehicle where it's coming from, to have someone standing on the outside and drive past them, because most bearing failures will be loud at low speeds as well as high speeds. And then as you're doing this, did you pop the vent on that?
Yes.
Yes. If you don't pop the vent, you end up with a big surprise as it overflows.
U-joint.
What?
U-joint.
Yeah, what'd you do with it? Now, if you notice, this is not leaking yet, because when I put diff covers on, I use RTV on both sides of the gasket. About a short one with a short socket with an extension. With an extension. There you go.
On the end of the
Now, if you're so inclined, you can pull the spare tire down. And get this, pull these out. But, we're doing it with the spare tire still in it. Because we can operate a ratchet when we have to just as easily as getting an impact up in there. Then you have one or two more to go.
Three.
Three, okay. I don't know if you're going to be able to, you may have to use the socket for that.
Wrench.
You want the wrench or you want ratchet?
I'll try ratchet first.
Okay. Let me pause this and we get you a good ratchet. All right.
Last one.
Did you break it loose or are you just gonna?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just twirling it out now. You know it's a good seal when basically all the bolts are out and it's not leaking yet.
That's right.
Am I missing something?
No, why?
Huh. I guess it really is just...
Okay, stop. Okay. Here, I brought you some gloves. Just a second. Just so you're not... I'll hold the cover while you pop it. Put it in and twist it. There you go. And the reason for the fluid being red is we use the Mystic JT7. Okay, slow down.
Doesn't look like any metal.
No. You go and pop the top. Just hold it up until it finishes draining out. The big thing you can see on it is the. Did you miss a bolt at the top? Oh no, that's the brake mount at the top. You want to grab hold of that cover? Now move that brake hose mount out of the way. Okay, there you go. Now it should come off. We have to pull it because you're fighting the gasket. Just tear the gasket. We don't care about the gasket. Now, why are we all white and foamy is the question.
Especially since we haven't driven it.
Unless that's the Positrack additive. That's not a problem. We can clean that up. May just be the fact that it's so cold. No, don't do that. You've got contaminant on your gloves. Okay, so reach up and start pulling that gasket off.
Your RTV worked too well.
That's the good news. So just take it. It won't take long to clean off. Okay, that's good. We'll take I'll get a razor blade and we'll clean it off here in a second. Now, today it's probably about 55, 60 degrees right now. And that gear oil is thick because we're here in South Texas and in the summer it gets really hot. So we run 85 140 gear oil in all of our differentials because we do drive for long periods of time and high speeds and heat. So we'll give that a minute to finish draining down, and then we need to rotate so we can get to the kingpin retaining bolt, which is right. Is that it right there? No, hold on. Yeah, it's on the other side, of course. So you want to hop in and put it in neutral. Got a key on, step on the brake. Okay, come hold this tire.
Pop the piston out.
What? No, shouldn't have.
Got it?
Hold on, I'm trying to. No. Keep holding it. Why does it look like somebody? Huh. Hand me that flashlight. I'm gonna turn this off now. Okay. Okay, we'll set that right there for a second. Hold on. Grab our flashlight. And you didn't need the key all the way on. Let me turn the key off. Light that sucker up and show. Okay. I got a flashlight. You know, point to that little bolt you're getting ready to take out. Okay. So go ahead and get in there and take that out.
Okay.
What? Is it not moving?
No.
Okay, well, grab your ratchet. That's what you gotta be careful with. Sometimes these bolts will break, and let me tell you, when they break, it's a nightmare to get them out.
Try and get as straight as possible.
Yep. Okay. Here, let me get in there and let me try it.
Oh, this is the broken ratchet.
Yeah, it's a, let's say that ratchet needs to go back and get warrantied. You get the snap-on on. That way you keep your fingers and your knuckles. Need an extension and a breaker bar extension style. Okay, let me do that. Just hold all of that. Okay, hand me my other glove. That way I keep my knuckles. There we go. That easy. All right, get this out of your way. Sit on the rag so it doesn't get dirty. See that again? You hop in there and go put your gloves back on.
I took them off to put it neutral.
I don't know what your aversion to gloves is. So I want to pause. Okay, so go ahead and pull that pin out. Show it to us. See what it looks. See what it looks like. It's threaded, and the other end's just a pin. So next, you got to remove the kingpin. Why don't you stick this on the end of that kingpin, see if it'll pull it out. Try not to get that too greasy.
It moved.
Yeah. All right. So. Oh. See if you can pull it out. There you go. See how he's pulling that back. Light. That's pulling that straight out. There you go. Set it down. Okay. Now take your foot over and put your foot against that tire. And I'll spin from this side till we can get to the opening. Okay, so now that's interesting. We know the posit's working because it just locked up. Take your foot off. The posit's now locked up, so it'll rotate. Notice how it's rotating both sides?
Yeah.
Okay, now here's the fun part. Okay, let's get that into a position. Okay, kingpin's out, so I want to shove the axle in. Maybe bent so heavily. I don't know if you get a. There it goes. Now, do you think you can get that kingpin out, or do you think you can? I'm gonna have to. I can get that clip out.
Where?
Okay. No. The clip is. Okay. See the clip on that side? The clip you're trying to get to is on this side.
What clip?
Good. See where the axle shaft is right there? That's that round deal. See that clip sticking out on this side? Let's see if I can get a better location, better spot.
How do I get it?
Well, your trick is the way it swings in there makes it difficult to get to. So you can get in there on it just like that, and see if it moves. I wonder if it's that little. You're too far. You're on the clutch pack. Go to the right there. That's what you need to get to. Okay, let me see if I can get in there and get it, because that's going to be difficult. Let me go get me some gloves. I'm gonna grab me a pair of latex gloves. And I may need a brazing rod.
Where did it go?
What?
Where's it go from?
It's in my pocket. It's in my lap.
Ah.
So take your gloves off before you touch it. I think it's still recording. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Let's get this out of here so we can fill that full of shit underneath the vehicle. Put your hands off. Grab yourself a clean rag and go and move that. While I sit here, and hand me a clean rag too. Okay, so that's that. So basically, I just have to keep working it around until it finally gets. There we go, almost got it. That's why they call it a C-clip. And at this point, we'll slip out from underneath here, swap out that axle and bearing real quick. Sweeping up the rocks has been a good idea before we started, Xander. All right, once we've got the C-clip off, all we do, pull the axle shaft right out. And if you want to know why we use the Mystic grease, gear oil, look how thick that is. And it stays on even after the vehicle's been sitting. This truck's been sitting for about 3 days. All right, so get the bearing out. Tell you what, hand me that next one over in there. No, at the top. Oh, right there. See, I'm right in the middle of them. Okay, so let's set this off to the side. Put this in. Did I bring the flashlight over here?
No.
Can you go grab it for me? No, it's on the. It's up there on the. Yeah, I don't think I left it underneath it. No.
Where?
Gotta be up there somewhere. So I'm gonna be tight on this one, just because I'm kind of in between what I can use. So that doesn't fit perfectly. So what we're gonna do is put our tool on and see if we can work it out. If we can't, we're gonna have to try and figure out how to put the bigger one in. Always screw them all the way down so you don't foul up threads. I think it's moving, but I'm not sure. Tell you what. Where's that big flathead screwdriver? Is it sitting over there on the table? Okay. I need my seal remover. Let's see if I can get this back going and get it. And this may be where we've got to get out the really big slide hammer. Go ahead and pause that for a second. All right, so we decided to move to the big boy for bearing remover. And what this will do, this will get it started. Unless somebody did something to actually put like sometimes they'll put a kind of like a Loctite on them. Being temperamental. Only that'll pop them. The way this will pop the floor bearings out. Boy. Never had one this hard to get out.
You're embarrassing yourself. It's been a minute.
I know. Oh, wait, let me get this one out and they just pop right on out. You're not going to hold it. It takes a lot of force to hold it. Huh. And I can't tell if we're moving it at all or not. Okay, we're going to turn this off for a minute and we'll be back so we're sure we're moving it. Okay, so we moved up from our small slide hammer to the big one. And so, yeah, I had to put a socket in there to kind of keep it from jumping out like that. The problem is we're doing this where there's a bunch of dirt and we don't want to get a bunch of dirt inside, so every time a socket comes out I got to clean it off. Okay. So put that in, get that into place, put that in there. Hand off. Make sure I'm in there straight. Tough on your hands. All right. Yeah, I'll put this back in here. Hand me my leather glove. And just keep rotating it around, making sure you get even hits, otherwise it'll freeze up and then you got to figure out where you're stuck again.
It's going in.
I know. All right. Get you back out.
Front magnet.
I think so, because I think we're weighing it this time. Holy crap, it did. Okay, you want to hand me a rag? This one ought to be well lubed. That's one thing about the Mystic, is it well lubes everything. Okay. Look on that somewhere. Get that in there. Okay, now we're getting to the end of this sucker. This is where we got to be careful that you don't take out your fingers, your elbows, your knees, whatever. Because when the bearing goes, it's going to go just slam. Come on. One last one, I hope. All right, that sucker's in there tight. All right, reposition low. To the bottom end. Yeah, this is why the other style, the puller, is so nice, because it doesn't take anything to keep it in place. At this point I could probably switch back over to it, but then I have to reset it all up, and I can finish up with this one. We're close. Of course, right in the dirt. This is why having a clean work area is so important. Okay. Hey, look at that. We're almost there. And finally, fairing out. That bit? Oh, give me here a second. Okay. Let's get our other stuff set up. Ouch. 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 Okay. Grab a rag. Okay, you can see how we've greased the bearing before we put it in. I use grease. A lot of people just put gear oil on them. And then I use a 2x4 so I don't damage it to get it started. And I got it crooked, so it's bound on this side a little bit. Yeah, got it crooked. So, and broke a 2x4. Okay, hand me a clean rag, please. And I use the rags just to keep anything from this gear oil is so, this grease is so sticky. I use the rags to keep from getting anything, any contamination. And we're straightening out. Ready to make me do this thing. Yeah, there we go. Now we're straightened out. Okay, so now we're that far in. Now, you want to grab me our old bearing. Or actually, go ahead and pause it. Let me go grab a. Okay, putting the seal in. Do the same thing with paper towel. Be gentle. Make sure I get it going in evenly. Because if you bend the seal going in, it'll really leak. And that's how. With this, it bounces back. Okay, now that it's in, take a little of my grease and grease the actual seal surface, and we'll stick the axle shaft in. And get a little bit of grease off. You don't want to get on the brakes. Grab the axle shaft. Next time we put the car on the other side of the driveway. Our surfaces all look good. Our axle. So we'll show that here in just a second. Okay, you can see some discoloration. Got a little ridge there, nothing major. Slide in gently. And here's the deal. I got to move it around a little, and it'll go through one hole, and then lift it, shake it a little, goes in another hole. Now it's in the splines. Push it all the way in. Now we put the C-clip back in. Okay, so I'm going to put the C-clip back in. Trying to keep my out of my light here. Okay, so we got the shaft pushed all the way in. Okay, so I put the C-clip in. Now, carefully, let me see if I move the light a little. Got the camera. You see, I got my put the C-clip in. So gently, so you don't pinch my fingers, start pulling out on the axle shaft. Okay, hold on. Now pull some more. There you go. So it's all the way in. So now we just reverse, put our kingpin in. You want to hand me a clean rag? Okay, I'm going to grab the kingpin, wipe it down so it's clean. Make sure we don't have a bunch of wear or anything on it for any reason. Okay, I'm going to hold this tire if you will rotate the axle backwards. Yep. And keep turning. Don't push in on it.
May still be locked up.
Okay, well, it should turn. Okay, keep going, keep going, keep going. Stop. Make sure. Oh, got bad news for you. Turned it the wrong way. Okay, keep turning. You gotta go all the way 180 degrees. Use that. Hey, use the breaker bar.
Oh.
A little bit of leverage. No, not a good screwdriver. Use the breaker bar. Keep going. Okay, keep going. Okay, stop. Now, rotate it the other direction. Okay, hold, stop, 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 stop. I gotta, okay, rotate it back just a hair. Rotate it forward. Okay, no. Put your breaker bar in there. Rotate it forward a little. I've got to keep the posi from locking just because you're, okay, keep going. Okay, a little further. A little bit more. Got to line that hole up. Okay, stop right about there. Let's see where I sit. Okay, go just a hair more. Well, stop right there. Okay, so now we're at the point where we can put our pin in. My hands are from gear oil, so it's a little slip going in. Okay, wiggle that sucker back and forth. Put your, okay, stop, 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 okay. There we go. Now, always, here's the fun part on this. As I'm putting this in, see I got the hole? I want to make sure I am directly in line with the keyhole, which I'm going to put my pin in over here, my keeper pin. All right, almost there. Okay, shake it a little more. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm going to turn this off so I can set the camera down. We'll be back with you. Okay, now I've used 2 hands to get the pin in. I'm going to take this pin right here. That's the one that holds that kingpin in. And did I get it straight? Hey, I got it straight. Sometimes, and this is difficult, if you don't have that alignment correct, it won't go. And so it takes a little finessing to spin this to get this pin in. Okay, you want to hand me a 8mm and find out what the torque value is on this pin? Yeah, we're gonna need small, the 3/8 torque wrench. Always torque these. Don't do it ugga-dugga. Okay, so I'm gonna try and do this with one hand. I'm gonna torque this. The torque value on this particular rear end is 20 foot-pounds. So we're gonna put this on. Was it, Alexander, was it foot-pounds or inch-pounds?
Foot-pounds.
Okay. That just seemed awfully high. Do me a favor, step in and, never mind. Just trying to hold this and push at the same time. Okay, so there we go. Now, what I'm going to do, would you hand me a razor blade, please? That way I can finish cleaning off the...
Where are razor blades?
Sitting right over there on top of the... I don't know where to put this so I can get some decent light on it. There we go. Okay, you couldn't unwrap it. Okay, so all I'm gonna do here is gently go around and finish removing the gasket. Now if you notice, the RTV is not 2 inches thick. Did a very light coat of RTV because that's all you need. You'll see a lot of people come in and they'll use, you know, half a tube of RTV. And when you do that, it makes it really difficult to clean your gasket surfaces, your mating surfaces, to get stuff off of it. So, I'm trying to do this. We need to get some different camera holding devices. Okay, you basically see what I'm doing, so I'm going to put the camera down so I can do this with 2 hands. And then we go around all the bolt holes. And this is what I was talking about. Doesn't take a lot of RTV. Okay, one of the reasons we go all the way around the bolt holes instead of just on the inside is because some of these pans, the diffs have a issue where the bolt hole goes into the diff itself. So now what we're going to do is get our gasket out. And there is no real right or wrong on these gaskets, but I always put them in with the printed side facing the diff itself. Now, what I will do at this point is, so I don't end up with a solid tube of RTV, put the cap back on. Now I'll crawl up, I'll put the cover on, press it on, take it off, and then put the gasket on and actually bolt it in. Do you remember what the torque specs are for the
20.
for the diff cover?
Yeah.
20?
Uh-huh.
Okay, if you say so. I thought it was higher than that, but okay. Now the trick is not to get RTV on everything as you slide this up.
10 seconds.
Okay. Hole, and hole. So I'm gonna put it up there for just 1 second to get some RTV. Okay, and I skip every other bolt on the initial torque down. Just that was taught by an old car guy who did rear ends. This side is any better? Yeah, that's not any better. Do it from here. That sucker acting like it's stripped. Okay, we're gonna skip. We'll come back to that one. Okay. This one. Okay, that one's already down. Now, if you'll notice, I'm hitting every one on this route just because this will be the final torque. And you'll notice that the ones that have already been torqued to 20 are still taking a much more torque on them. See if this one's doing it again. Tell you what, I'm going to put a regular ratchet on that and see if I can get it closer. See my snap on right there. Okay, I'll just tighten it up. Just has a... Nope, it is stripped. Okay. We're going to live with a stripped bolt at the top. I thought it felt stripped. Okay. what we can do on that bolt is once the RTV and everything's set, we'll go in and drop the spare tire and helicoil it. Last couple. Okay, that's it. That sucker's sealed up. Take that. Okay,
Calling that good?
it's done. I'll put the tire and brake and everything back on. I've already done one of them.
All right.
Okay.
Good luck, Kate.
All right. Watch out. Okay, we put our blue Loctite on, put the bolts in. Now we're torquing them in. We need to have to use the extension. Whenever you're having to use an extension, you always have to put a little more torque on them, as long as these aren't critical tightness. Otherwise, you won't get to the torque value. Here, further so I can get some torque on them. As you torque them, you'll feel the extension twist. Okay. Take that, please. Your foot. Excuse me. Torches off. Okay. Rock out. Where's the socket for this? Where's the socket for this?
In the back box.
21 or 22?
2.
22. That's a 7/8. There it is on the ground. Gotta start putting metal pieces on the cars. Where are our torque sticks?